Welcome back everyone, I'm Robbie.
And I'm Liam.
And M. Night Shyamalan is back with a long-awaited sequel to one of his most beloved films, Unbreakable, as well as Split. This is Glass. Here are our thoughts.
Hit it!
Elijah's changed over the years. He's given up.
We keep him heavily sedated.
But there is a reason for that.
He's too smart for them.
You won't be lonely anymore. You have two new friends.
Glass was directed and written by M. Night Shyamalan, and it stars James McAvoy from Split and Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson from Unbreakable, and they add to the cast Sarah Paulson, and there's also a couple of other returning minor characters from Split and Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Taylor-Joy and Bruce Willis' son from Unbreakable, Sam Jackson's mum. Yeah, it's good to see them again.
Yeah, absolutely. And Glass tells the story of the continuation of Split and Unbreakable. And it's basically about the three are captured pretty on and put into an asylum, and they're basically told you're not superheroes. And the film is about them in this whack sort of asylum, figuring out whether they are or if they aren't, and then it sort of, all accumulates to this interesting way to end. But yeah, it's an interesting story. I like the idea of it. What did you think of Glass?
I liked it. I was underwhelmed. I'll say that from the beginning.
Yeah.
I love Unbreakable, I love Split. Even through his dry years, I've always been a fan of M. Night Shyamalan.
Good for you.
When he works, he really works. I love Sixth Sense, I love Signs, The Village. He's a great suspense director, and you can see hints of that in Glass. There's a couple moments, especially towards the beginning, when he plays with suspense, and it really works.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, Glass also brings in to focus his weaknesses in writing, mainly in dialogue and in over-convoluted plot points.
Absolutely. You know what Shyamalan needs to do to make good films? He needs to have other people write his screenplays for him. I think he should come up with stories, like come up and write a story, and then have people come in and say, okay, yeah, this works and this doesn't.
I don't think it's so much that. I think he works well when he's not under pressure, when he's not working to a deadline like he was on Glass. Whereas Split and Unbreakable, he wasn't working to a deadline,
Well,
he was making his own.
Split, he paid for himself.
Yeah, he had a much smaller budget on all his previous movies, except for Glass had a much bigger budget. He needs a smaller budget to be more creative. Because I found the movies of his that didn't work for me personally were the bigger budget ones. Late in the Water, Last Airbender, After Earth, they were all terrible. Because he's able to just go all out. Whereas when he's fun, we'll focus on telling a character-driven story, like Sixth Sense, like Signs, where he's very limited, and he's just trying to focus on one element. That's when he really works.
See, I feel like he could be good with a bigger budget, but it would be nice to have some people like reel him in a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, this film was weird because honestly, I thought that the film was totally fine.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought that the film was good at some points.
It was great at some points for me.
Had some really great interactions between McAvoy and Paulson and Willis as well.
Yeah. He was wasted.
He was absolutely wasted, but you could tell that he was sort of trying, considering he doesn't really do that anymore in his movies.
Try.
Yeah, but he was sort of trying, and yeah, there was a few glimmers of some really good things in this film, but it's just a shame. And when you get down to it, like, not spoiling or anything, but like, the ending is what really brought the film down, I think. That was where
Moments of the ending for me, yeah.
That was where I was really like, okay, yeah, nah, not a fan.
like, this is the first M. Night film where I'm just very on the fence about.
Mm.
I've either loved or really disliked all his movies up to this point. This is the first one I'm just kind of like, it's fine. Look, my main issues with it are, I think it stays way too long in the asylum. I was expecting much more of a manhunt of David Dunn trying to track down the beast.
Yep.
Which you do get a bit of, but it's very, very quick.
Yeah, I thought the film was going to start off in the asylum, honestly. And then
break out, and
then
yeah.
it would have David
But no,
Dunn
yeah.
trying to track down the beast.
Yeah, 80% of the film is in the asylum.
And it's kind of dull. There's
It gets repetitive.
there were some really great moments. McAvoy is fantastic in this film.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Patricia.
I'm Mary Reynolds. Por favor, señora. We almost got you, bro.
You can tell that he's the one that really put like a huge amount of effort into this and tried to make everything work.
I want my headphones back.
Step away from the controls now, little duck.
Can't beat the beast.
It's just a shame that like he didn't have the best script to go off.
Yeah.
Or anything.
But yeah, so you see, like, my main few issues are, like I said, the setting, too much in the asylum. I think the ending has too many reveals tagged onto it. It's like there's...
And they don't feel earned.
No. It's almost like... And one of them in particular, which I'm not going to say what it is obviously, but one of them really just felt so out of left field. And it was almost like there's been no hinting of it at all in this movie or any bits of Unbreakable, any bits of Split. It just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
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 And as soon as I came, I thought, where's this coming from? And then it just kind of gets, not resolved, but just kind of gets just brushed away a few minutes later.
That's something that could have been really good if you actually like showed us a bit of time in between.
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
I think it would have been better with
this.
ads altogether.
But yeah, but that was just absolutely nice.
It was almost like M. Night was like, okay, I'm famous for my twist. Let's add another twist, and it was just one too many. If the other couple of revelations were left as just the revelation of the ending, even though they weren't big, like on the scale of the Sixth Sense reveal, it would have still worked for me.
Yeah.
I think. And I am not a fan of the direction they go in with Sarah Paulson's character.
No.
At all. Yeah. And it really missed James Newton Howard's Unbreakable theme, which is hinted...
I've heard before I saw this, I heard a lot of people saying that like it wasn't really used at all.
I thought it wasn't used at all, and then a friend of mine picked up that there's one, I can't remember what moment it is, but there's one moment where very subtly there's a piano rendition of the theme, but it's so slight, like I missed it completely.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Unbreakable theme is so recognizable. I mean, they use it in Split. Why not use it in here? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm sure the composer who did this one, like, yeah, he's good, but
He did Split.
He did Split, and
I thought the score for Split was really great.
Split
actually.
had a very good score, but when you're tying in Unbreakable, why not just bring back James Newton Howard?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Even in M. Night's bad films, he's always turned in very good scores.
Yeah. Yeah, this film was just sort of, it's hard to talk about, honestly.
It is hard
because
to talk about.
there's
so many things.
There's so many things that it did right and so many things it did wrong, and then it just sort of evens it out.
Yeah.
Look,
I think my final word on it would be, if you're a fan of M. Night, go check it out. Be prepared to be very disappointed or be prepared to like it a lot. It's very divisive, I find. I've spoken to equal amounts of people who loved or hated it, or just like us who are just in the middle.
Yeah, the thing is with me is the most people I've spoken to have been in the middle about it. It's just a bit of a weird film, this one.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because these two are great.
Yeah.
Unbreakable and Split are so great, and to have this be the final chapter of that story is very disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might even go down in my star rating, because when I came out of it, I gave it 3.5, but I'm leaning more towards 3 now, because it is very middle ground.
Well, I'm giving it 2.5. Just completely down the middle. At one point it was a 3, but the ending for me really brought it down.
Yeah.
And it didn't ruin the film, but it just made it so disappointing is the biggest word that I can use for this film.
Yeah, like I still really liked it. I was just so underwhelmed. I'm gonna stick with 3.5 for now. I might change after. I've only seen it once. I might change when I see it again.
Yeah.
I just still, like, I wasn't bored. I was intrigued. I was entertained. I was just when the movie finished, I was just like, oh, okay, that's not what I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick with 3.5 for now. And you're 2.5.
May I meet the beast?
I hope for your sake that he likes you.
That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. A lot of people are going to die.
Don't do this.
Are you ready?
What do we call you, sir?
First name, Mr. Last name, Glass.
Anyway, guys, those were our thoughts on Glass. Let us know what you thought. Were you disappointed or were you satisfied with the ending? Keep an eye out for our review of The Mule, which will be coming to you soon. Until then, we'll see you at the movies.